Do you get up several times a night to go to the bathroom? Do you wear pads or diapers due to bladder leaks? Attain by In Control Medical will stop the leaks and give you back control. Attain is the only FDA-cleared at-home device for the treatment of stress, urge, and mixed urinary incontinence, as well as fecal incontinence. For more information, visit incontrolmedical.com.
Rachel, gone are the days where you have to put your birth control pill pack next to your toothbrush every morning in an effort to remember to take your pill.
We are so excited to speak to today's guest, Amanda French, who has come up with a system. It's not even a pill pack, but an integrated system to remind people to take their oral contraception. And I'm sure there are so many listeners and also people who are in the space who are very aware of that moment or have seen someone when they experience that moment. Oh my goodness, I forgot to take a pill. And then they sometimes wind up in your office the next day.
And not only the stress of missing a pill, but all of the information that women need to know about their periods before their period comes upon them. And this can really help with preparation and anticipation in an effort to make it the least unpleasant experience possible.
One of the things I love about looking at the businesses through your eyes, as someone who knows what is the accurate medical information, I've just been amazed and impressed and happy about how many comments you've made about the quality of the information that these companies are providing so that people aren't, as you say, Dr. Googling at 2 a.m.
Well, they still are Dr. Googling at 2 a.m. However, now there are a vast number of really, really great answers to some of these big problems.
Welcome to the Business of the V. Hello, friends and colleagues. I'm Dr. Alyssa Dweck.
And I'm Rachel Braun-Sherrill. Each week, we bring you the most fascinating investors, inventors, entrepreneurs, academics, and healthcare practitioners who are making things happen in women's sexual and reproductive health.
If you are a woman, know a woman, have a business, or care about your V health and wellness, fasten your seatbelts and listen in to another informative and inspiring episode.
We are so happy to welcome Amanda French today, who is the co-founder and CEO of Emme, which is a really innovative and unique approach to birth control. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
It's great to see you. So let's jump right in. Tell us what Emme is and what your brainstorm was for the company. I know that you felt that there hadn't been a lot of innovation in the area of birth control pills specifically.
So at Emme, we have launched the first integrated system for birth control pill management, really all founded on the idea that the pill came to market back in the 60s. And when I took a step back, I realized that for the most part, people are still managing the pill today the way they were decades ago. So our integrated system includes the Emme Smart Case, which is connected hardware that seamlessly tracks birth control pill activity. It syncs with our custom app to send relevant reminders to people when they miss a pill. And we've shown that it actually drives an 80% reduction in missed pills. And so that was really where we started with the business, was this connected system for that day-to-day management. And we've just recently launched Emme-Rx, which is our pill delivery and telemedicine offering, all within our app. And so finally, our members can come to Emme, get their prescription, find the right one for them, and then really have the support that I found was missing for that day-to-day to just feel more confident and have better peace of mind with the pill.
God, you are saving my life. I can't tell you how many phone calls I get day in, day out, awakenings in the middle of the night due to birth control pills. And what I love about your system is not only that the pill pack is going to remind people, but there is information on what to do if you miss a pill, or what to do if you miss 2 pills, or when you need to use backup contraception, because these questions, as much as I know that they're super important, can be the bane of my existence and literally could occupy my whole day.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's a conversation I've had with so many gynecologists who say this really is the top stressor for people on the pill, is not only forgetting the pill, and the data shows that up to 80% of people on the pill will miss at least 1 pill per month, which is why the average efficacy of the pill is only 91%. But not only that, I mean, when you have 8 million plus people missing pills every month, there is so much stress and anxiety. And so we saw it's not a simple solution. It's not just that people need reminders. It's not just that they need a better alarm clock, but really that ability to connect the dots between, okay, what does your personal data tell you about what you need to do? And so that was a key feature in our app, is providing information. Yeah. What do you do when you miss 2 pills? When do you need to use plan B? Hopefully to alleviate stress, both for our members as well as all the providers who are taking care of them, because we know there's just not enough hours in the day to take all those calls.
So many of the people that we speak to who are on this journey of creating companies had a personal experience or an epiphany or some moment where they said they were driven to start this business. What's your origin story? I mean, it's a great idea. Obviously, there hadn't been a lot of innovation in the space, but what turned it into an idea to something that you wanted to pursue?
Well, I started the company about 4 years ago out of the Stanford Biodesign Fellowship, which is a program that brings together physicians and engineers to really drive this very process-driven approach to solving unmet needs in healthcare. And I came to that program as a mechanical engineer. I'm someone who's worked in the medical device industry for a number of years, driving innovation forward in very well-funded categories. I started my career innovating in the heart valve space and then the hearing aid space. And it was really a new chapter to go back to school for a year and have the ability to just observe as much as I wanted at Stanford Hospital and clinics. It was really during that time that I was just so disappointed and staggered at the lack of innovation that I was seeing in reproductive health across the board. It started with observations in labor and delivery, and then Well Woman Clinic, and then starting to ask people about contraception. And I wasn't even necessarily specifically focused on the pill to start, but I just heard from hundreds of women about their stressful experiences missing birth control pills. And as I dug into the data, I was shocked to find out how common it is. I mean, that was an experience I had myself, but you would think if there are almost 10 million people struggling with missed pills, 1 million people having unplanned pregnancies a year, that this would be something that we would have already been talking about. And I found that that wasn't the case. And so it was really just from hearing from people over and over again about both how stressful this was and how unaddressed it was, I realized that that was certainly a problem that we could solve with technology. And so that was how Emme was born.
I love that aha moment. You know, there are obviously a lot of other birth control direct-to-consumer companies out there. Yours is clearly distinguished in the sense that, you know, you're promoting this smart pill pack, which I think is ingenious. I have a few questions. First, and this is a softball question, but what do you do with the round pill packs? Because there are some birth control pills that are round and your pack is rectangular.
Actually, the R&D process for designing the smart case included gathering hundreds of pill packs because there are so many different dimensions. Most of them are rectangles, but of course, brands like orthotricycline are circular in form. Technically, if a patient wanted to, they could take that purple plastic off of the circle, and a lot of those prescriptions still do fit in, because really the design of our product was meant to work with as many pill brands as possible. So we actually have patents on multi-sensor technology that specifically senses the foil of the blister packs, which is essentially the only thing that all these brands have in common is they have that foil on the back. So we're able to detect when someone takes the foil out, pops the pill out, puts it back in. And so, yeah, that's what's really enabled us to work with as many brands as possible. I mean, I'm curious to hear your perspective, because what we heard as we were deciding, do we do a rectangle and a circle? What form factor do we focus on? We actually heard that the circular packs are becoming less commonly prescribed, and that for many patients that tricycline dosing can lead to increased osteoporosis and So I'm curious to hear if you've found that to be true, or if you see that to be the prescribing.
That's a great question. I actually think that the rectangular pack is more commonly seen, and so many women might be prescribed one of the round packs to start out with, but notoriously their insurance company or their pharmacy changes them to something generic that's always seems to be in a rectangle. But I'm shocked to hear that it's the foil that's getting detected. I was definitely going to think it was the weight of the pill pack. So either way, I'm fascinated. Just a quick question about the pill and follow-up care. So, obviously people get the pill pack, they can be prescribed their birth control pills. What if they have a problem on the pill that the app does not answer? How is that addressed?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things that I think is so unique about our offering, connecting the app to the telemedicine experience. We enable people to track all sorts of negative symptoms and side effects. And then if they're having negative side effects that maybe would indicate that they should have a different prescription, that would be a great moment for them to use our telemedicine to get back in touch with a clinician to find the right pill for them. I've been really disappointed just at the lack of research that there is on different forms of birth control pills. I know so many patients try several brands before finding the right one for them. And again, I'm curious for your clinical perspective, because what I've heard from some clinicians is like, yes, patients are struggling, but there's not a lot of data to figure out which prescription might be right for them. And so our vision is that we could tie all of that symptom and side effect tracking to actually help people find the right prescription for them sooner.
Yeah, look, I think there's a couple of different parameters. Surely if someone's complaining of acne, we choose a particular type of progesterone containing pill. Certainly if someone comes in or just has a preference to be on the lowest dose possible, we'll pick a particular brand of pill. Sometimes, and actually more often than not, it's really related to what their insurance will cover. And finally, much of it is just trial and error, as I'm sure you know. What we do love is the app, keeping track of certain symptoms, cramping, PMS symptoms, that type of thing, because many women find that there's a disconnect, especially young women who are just getting to know their cycles, between when they get symptoms of their period and the prediction of such when they can actually take care of it. So I love that your app is a predictor.
So Amanda, I first had the chance to meet you and see you present Emme now about 3 years ago at a conference on innovations in women's sexual health. So where are you now on the journey? I mean, first of all, congratulations on being selected as one of Fast Company's most innovative companies of 2021.
Thank you.
So that says something. So share with us where you are and what kind of momentum you have in the business.
I'm sure a couple of years ago at that panel, we were pitching and talking about this vision that we had to really integrate all of the points of care for pill management. And I'm so pleased that where we are now is in the market with that product. So we're in the market not only with the SmartCase and app, but also with the telemedicine and prescription delivery offering, and really just trying to do things different and do things better when it comes to contraceptive care. We have had such a warm reception to our product. If you look on our website or in the App Store, you'll see we just have hundreds of 5-star reviews from really not only happy members, but relieved people who have felt for so many years that the pill experience was so stressful for them, but that was just as good as it gets, right? Like that's just the status quo. That's just what we're supposed to accept. And if you're on the pill, you should just expect to deal with these stresses. And we knew that's not what the future should look like for care. That's not good enough. And so it's just been so amazing to see for so many thousands of people, really the impact that we're having on their day-to-day health, not just solving the missed pill problem, but really raising the bar in terms of the overall confidence and peace of mind that people should have.
So here's today's hot flash, which actually kind of surprises me even after all these years in practice. It seems that in the overall age range, 15 to 49, female sterilization is actually the most common form of contraception at 18.6%, with the pill running a close second, 12.6%.
Every woman needs a strong, healthy pelvic floor. Intensity by In Control Medical is an automatic pelvic floor exerciser with a kick. Intensity tightens and tones your pelvic floor and delivers a strong, intimate response. Intensity, the one device every woman needs. For more information, visit incontrolmedical.com.
It's so interesting. We hear this theme over and over again, regardless of what aspect of women's sexual reproductive health companies are focused on. It is so clear how you have to look at her as an integrated person. She's not just a pill taker who's either trying to plan a pregnancy or not plan a pregnancy. She's also a person who, could be anxious about things and, can get distracted. And there's so many other points of interaction, both physical, and emotional. So I am curious, what have you found to be the most successful way to get people to know about you so that they can start to enjoy some of the benefits of reducing the likelihood that they'll miss a pill and, even benefiting from increased confidence and less anxiety?
It's been really interesting our first 6 or so months in the market to do those experiments to figure out what's the best way to spread the word. One of the things that we found really has been the most effective is just word of mouth among our community. I mean, the people who are using our product love it so much and really feel like this is solving an unmet need for which they just didn't really have a lot of good options. And so we see a lot of people sharing it on Instagram, a lot of people telling their friends about it. And for me, the fact that people share socially is something I'm so proud of, not just because it helps spread the word for the business, but I think more importantly, because we're really trying to break the taboo around contraceptive care, around birth control pills. For me, even 5 to 10 years ago, I remember maybe hiding if I had the pill at work, like, oh, I'm going to go take it when I'm in the restroom. And what we're seeing is just this next generation of people don't necessarily feel so much of that shame. And so I'm really proud to see that people know this is part of health that you should be talking about, that you should be sharing and doing that. So that's been really interesting. Our app is free. We really wanted it to be as accessible as possible. And so that's another great way that people discover us. They're looking for, a pill tracker, a cycle tracker.
There are so many period trackers out there. Some of them are excellent, but I love that you've combined, getting a prescription for the pill, having the smart pack and the reminder system, and the symptom tracker all at once, because, you're the ultimate multitasker here. I am curious if you've seen over the years a decline in people's preference for hormonal birth control, because, I definitely have seen the waxing and waning in my practice of, yes, I'm into hormonal contraception. No, I don't want hormonal contraception. So how have you navigated that?
Well, the data shows actually that the market for oral contraceptive pills still is growing. Each year, more people are using the pill. And at the same time, more people are turning to other forms of contraception, forms like the IUD that had very low adoption rates 5 to 10 years ago, still have a much smaller adoption compared to the pill, but it's becoming more popular. And so at a high level, the trend that we're seeing is not that people are no longer using the pill, but maybe they'll be on the pill for 10 years and then transition to an IUD, transition to another form of contraception or another stage of life, which is just one of the many reasons it was important to us, not just to exclusively build a pill tracker. I mean, we really see our members as people we're building a relationship with through so many stages of life. And so by tracking your symptoms and side effects, by connecting with a pharmacy, with a clinician, it's about so much more than just that pill experience.
Sure.
So you obviously have the ability to track, and you've mentioned a couple of important statistics. Help us educate people to know what some of the big numbers are, in terms of missed pills. We always talk about, unplanned pregnancies. What are some of the improvements you've seen with people who are now using the system?
The statistics just overall are fascinating to me, and it's really what inspired building this company. I mentioned that up to 80% of people miss at least one birth control pill per month. And really, for each missed pill, the efficacy declines. And so this leads to a 9% failure rate for birth control pills. It's been an interesting thing to realize for a lot of people on the pill at first, that still sounds pretty good, right? Like 91%, that's like an A-, that's like mostly going to work. But what it means is that 1 out of 10 people on the pill have an unplanned pregnancy each year. And in terms of numbers, that translates to 1 million unplanned pregnancies in the US alone. That, coupled with the fact that 50% of all pregnancies are unplanned, just shows how much room we have to grow and improve in terms of providing better tools for contraception. What we've seen with our system is that Emme really does drive such an improvement in reducing the number of missed pills because we're able to send smart reminders until people actually take the pill. So we've seen a 10x reduction in people who miss 2 or more pills, which is really the risky area, the most risky area. We're really proud of that. And overall, we see an 80% reduction in missed pills on the platform.
Tell us a little bit about cost. You said the app was free, but you obviously are running a business. What is the business model?
The hardware retails for $99. We also have a payment plan with Afterpay for people who want to pay in quarterly installments instead. There are also fees for the telemedicine and prescription delivery. So we're able to offer birth control pills for as low as $15 a month, really by working with the right supply chain partners and offering a number of generics. And then there's a $15 charge for the telemedicine appointment.
So obviously you're going after people, I imagine, first who are already using oral contraceptives. Where's your sweet spot? Who do you find that this product is, this system is most appealing to at this point?
Well, overall, when you look at the market of people using birth control pills, the biggest section of that is women 18 to 24, 24 to 30, really in the early stages of their career, not necessarily wanting an IUD because it's expensive. It feels like a big anatomical commitment to have something permanently in your body. And at the same time, their lives couldn't be more dynamic. Before COVID, there would be a lot of travel. There's still a lot of changes in routine. And so we're finding really that is the group of people who have been using our product the most. But anecdotally, it's also been interesting to chat with a lot of women in their 30s who use our product, maybe between kids. They're not ready for the next child, and they're even more distracted with their first, and maybe they're on a progestin only prescription. And so you have to take that one really within just a few hours. And so it's been interesting to see it's not just one type of person who most gravitates to the product. There are a lot of different reasons people need more support with the pill that they turn to Emme for.
You know, now I'm understanding about the foil rather than the pill weight, because you speak about the progesterone only pill where there are no placebos.
Right.
And also about some of the other pills that are dosed in such a way that the placebo week may be 3 days or 2 days or 5 days. So that makes sense. One missed population that I think often gets neglected in the birth control convo is the perimenopausal population.
Yep.
So, you know, these women, and I'm shouting it loud and clear from the rooftop, if you're still getting your period and you're still having sex, you can get pregnant. So, you know, I see a lot of perimenopausal women who are on the pill in an effort not only to provide contraceptive efforts, but to treat some of their menopausal or perimenopausal symptoms.
Yeah. And I mean, we see women, I would say 20s to 30s is the majority, but we certainly see women using the product in their 40s and 50s and beyond, and wanting to use it not just for the pill for contraception, but also the different forms of estrogen that would be used for hormone replacement therapy. And I think the pill was a really interesting place for us to start as a business because it's often that entry point into the healthcare system. But there are so many different reasons that people need support with daily hormone doses throughout, I mean, through menopause and beyond. And so we're excited to expand the platform to be able to support those markets as well.
When you came up with the idea for Emme through the Stanford Biodesign program, you know, at that point, there was just starting to be innovation in the space. And now there are a number of folks who are entering in one way or another. We love speaking to entrepreneurs about this. How do you feel about the competition?
Yeah, it's been actually very interesting because, like you said, the company was founded in 2017. And since then, I think it's been quite positive to see that there has been more funding going towards women's health in general, but specifically a big rise in online pharmacies and prescription delivery. What we see in terms of the competition is, I mean, one, I see them as kind of helping us push the bar, raise the bar in terms of driving innovation for the category. But we're also very different from a lot of the other companies who went to market exclusively focused on online pharmacies or online delivery. For us, the big difference was talking to hundreds of people on the pill and saying, what's your biggest pain point? What's the most stressful thing for you? Is it driving to the pharmacy? Is it the missed pills? Is it the side effects after you miss a pill? And we found what was really most important to them was that daily pill management. And so that was our strategy, was to really focus on the top pain point first and then build the offering out from there.
I think the biggest pain point for me is the phone call that I get on Sunday night. Oh my God, I don't have my pack of birth control pills to get started. What is the user experience like when it comes to this like recurring need?
Because we have the sensors for the pill itself, we know exactly where a member is in their cycle. And we send a reminder several days before the pack, before they're due to pick up their next prescription, like your next pack is coming up soon, because we heard from people over and over again, like you don't realize till the next day you open the pack and there's no pills left. So we've built reminder systems in to help with that, but we also offer automatic delivery. So every month delivering the next pack of pills so that it's really on autopilot and people can trust Emme to deal with that. And then of course there's the annual renewal because people need new prescriptions every year.
Yes.
So we're building out reminders for that as well. Because there really are so many unfortunate obstacles to getting the pill, getting the right one for you, staying on it. And there's a lot of reasons people should be connecting with providers every year, but we're really just trying to streamline that piece of it.
What was your reaction when you got the email or the call or the text that said, you're one of the most innovative companies in 2021 from Fast Company?
I was so excited, first of all, just to receive that news. It meant a lot to me, both in terms of what it showed our team had achieved in a very limited amount of time, but also to finally see women's health innovation on the map. It was exciting to learn won the award, and then it was exciting once the magazine actually came out to flip the pages and see there's like Peloton, Calm, and Emme. And Emme's the one with the big photo of the product. And I think that's how it should be. I mean, we make up more than half the world's population. Women drive 80% of healthcare, spending power. And yet, as I know we all lament, it's been treated as this niche category. So for me, I think the thing that our whole team is most proud of is just what it represents. It represents, I think, this acceptance of women's health innovation being as big of a deal as it should be.
Other than the obvious, which is to put like every daily medication in a smart pack like this, what is next for your company?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things. I mean, like you said, there are so many meds that people need support with to take on time, and we get those requests every day, it seems. But we also are really just observing the challenges that especially women have in getting the right diagnosis. I mean, I'm sure you're no stranger to the fact that endometriosis affects 1 out of 10 women, PCOS affects 1 out of 10 women. And yet the time to diagnosis is often 7 to 10 years. We see a real power in really connecting the clinicians with our tracking app and enabling people to hopefully find out sooner. Like, you don't have to have excruciating cramps that would send you to the emergency room. That's not an average experience, and just really helping people feel more empowered with their data to hopefully get better care sooner.
I'm sure you received this also from Dr. Lindsay Harper from Rosie, who was running a campaign. You know, we talk about these numbers and how huge they are, how huge the incidence numbers are in anything that affects women's health. And so she sent around these t-shirts and hats and is creating a movement, hashtag, it's not a niche, bitch.
I saw that. I love that. And it's so true. And it's frustrating that we still have to say that. But I think we do have to say that, and hopefully the tides are turning. But yeah, I saw that campaign. I think it's brilliant.
I think they are turning. Now there's many, many more people proclaiming that same message. You know, this isn't a niche. There's billions of menopausal women. There, 50% of women miss pills. There's unwanted pregnancies. There's so many health decisions that we make that have enormous positive consequences and sometimes enormous negative consequences. So we are cheering you on every step of the way. So excited for all your progress, and we will keep watching you because we know the future is bright for Emme and for your whole team.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, this was wonderful. It was great to chat with both of you.
Don't forget, subscribe to our podcast at businessofthev.com for the latest trends and trendsetters in women's health and business.